YouTube still open on your phone?
I can open it again.
Okay, right, yeah, we are live because it's got the chat window open on here now. So, yep, there we go. Okay, I've just checked YouTube and we are on there. So,
Nice. There
right
we go.
now, hopefully, now this is a bit where everyone says they still can't hear us, which would be brilliant. And if they are, I am just going to leave and go and have some dinner.
Yeah, might be the.
Yeah, everyone's saying speak, Will. So hopefully,
Hi guys, can you hear us?
yay! Hey, we are back. Totally first stream of the day. Good day, gentlemen. Woohoo, back. Oh God, sorry everybody. That was an absolute travesty. The problem is, like we were just saying, we've got different settings on different of our PCs. So annoyingly, when I then load it on mine, loads of stuff changes because all my headphones are set up differently. Let's pretend like everybody. Okay, I want everyone to just pretend that didn't just happen. So what we're going to do is we're gonna pretend like we're starting at the beginning. So and everyone's at good volume. Excellent. So Will, count us in.
Hi guys.
Three,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Discussing the Resilient podcast. We do appreciate the people who hung around. We had a lot of people before watching us have our technical issues, but yeah, we appreciate the people who've stuck with it. We're just saying before, Aidan's been held back at work, so he's not been able to join us tonight. But we'll have a bit of a hangout, just talk about the stuff. So we're just sort of mentioning before. I don't think people could hear me talk, but Aidan and Dave are still under NDA, so although there's lots of information that's coming out online, and a lot of the information is quite public now, there's only limited things that those guys are allowed to talk about, and me by association. So just to sort of put that disclaimer from the start. But how are you, Dave? Are you keeping well?
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. Thank you. I think I was just saying. Just to you, because we didn't let anyone else hear what we were saying. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I had a very busy day at work. The Nurglings have now been in and been wrenched out of the system of the stream, so that's good. They've stopped chewing on the wires. Bad Nurglings. You usually could do it, but just not on our stream. So yeah, it's all good. Yeah, work's been very, very busy today, but there's lots of interesting stuff. And yeah, like you said, had a bit of a busy weekend just gone. So kind of feel a bit like we've kind of, in a weird way, didn't have a weekend because we basically did like 3 days of like 12-hour kind of job, like days of like working on this, which was brilliant. So yeah, all right, mate. All right, just excited for the future, to be honest. The 40k Death Guard future. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sort of, I'm privy to what everyone in the chat and things is seeing. So obviously you guys have been very tight-lipped about what you do and don't know, but it does seem a lot of the information's out online. I mean, I watched the Art of War tier list today, and they brought down the units, and then when they brought down the units, they also sort of gave points away as well, and some of the points didn't necessarily match up to what was shared in the back of the sort of things that have come out officially before then. So I think the information's slowly sort of starting to sort of seep out, and obviously a couple of weeks then we can sort of all get excited, list build and stuff like that. But it looks really exciting. I mean, I don't know, it's interesting to see what's happening with the other factions as well, because obviously Space Wolves got announced today. Like, it's quite, the release schedule sped right up. I mean, what do you think? Do you think we're going to get a new edition in the summer, or do you think it's next year? I guess it's a sort of an interesting talking point to.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, I've been saying June next year the whole time. I don't believe it's this year. I think they're going to do lots of drops quickly because they've got lots to cram in before the end of before that period. So yeah, I'm confident we're going to get lots of quick releases and schedules, and then we're not going to see whatever it is, 10th V2 or 11 or whatever they want to call it. I don't think we'll get that till June next year.
I think it's, in many ways, it's a kind of a bit sad, isn't it? Though, I mean, it's exciting that we're getting our book, but it's a little bit sad on the flip side that everything's now moving so quick. Like, because we had such a big period where we never got stagnant because of Gotmus and things like that. But I wish our book had come out and we were going to have a bit more time to sit on it, because I've talked before on the channel. I've got Chaos Knights. I have a Thousand Suns army. I would prefer to, have had like a good few months on Death Guard, and then when Chaos Knights come out, it feels
Sure.
fresh. But I feel like the current schedule, Chaos Knights is going to come out right in the middle of still being sort of, fully focused on Death Guard, and
Right.
I don't know, it's good, but I wish it had stayed a consistent pace, because it does feel like they're playing a bit of catch up now. Like how, our codexes aren't even out, and Space Wolves are already getting teased. And then I imagine as soon as the Space Wolves pre-orders go, they'll start teasing Thousand Suns.
Yeah,
And
I wouldn't be surprised if we see T Suns right on the heels of it.
yeah, like it's a good thing, like it's
It
good
is
to
a good thing.
have these things happening. But from a purely selfish point of view, I'd be nicer if we had a bit more focus on Death Guard, if it came out, and then
Yeah.
we had 2 or 3 months where it was just about Death Guard, and we could really sort of focus in, and with the community as well, of course.
Well, Will, there is something about that. It's like, well, that's what people can come here for, can't they? They can get like some dedicated time spent, quality time with Death Guard spent right here. So yes, there's lots of other things coming out, but for our lot, and like you say, with the exception of maybe some Chaos Knights when that drops, and some hopefully what sounds like some Emperor's Children. Now we've seen a few graphics for what they're going to look like on our channel. You can come here for that. So I totally get what you're saying. Now, I think the interesting thing for the for those of you who play in the tournament scene is that we're suddenly going to have loads of armies with loads of new rules all at the same time, which is both exciting and a massive opportunity for us all to really F it up every time at the table. And just be like, hang on a second. Yep,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
yes.
it's true though what you said there. I mean, we're talking a bit offline. So my team's tournament, it's just a small teams tournament, just a very local one. There's only like 6 teams, like a round robin. And one of my games, I played Custodes and I played the New Lions, and I was I think we caught it off guard in our comp as well. To be fair, we were caught off guard by how much he could deal with the Knights, because on paper there was
Yeah.
nothing there,
Sure.
but then he had, like, I lost nearly on turn 3. I was pretty much
Oh my
tabled,
God.
but because he shot me with bolters, like, yeah, like 2 damage bolters. I rolled a few more 1s and 2s than I probably should have done, but the +1 to wound and the re-rolls, it all had up, and it was just loads of little chip
Okay.
damage. So that's just an example of, with all the codex coming, all these new detachments, all these new
Yeah.
armies, like, for example, when Space Wolves come out, the amount of times you're going to sit at the table and, someone comes up with something that isn't maybe the expected detachment, and just throw loads of rules that you completely catch you off guard. But
Yeah.
we're going to be doing that the same with Death Guard, aren't we? I mean, it's,
Completely.
it's very, very exciting. But I mean, from the Death Guard stuff you've seen, then, I mean, obviously, just sort of linking to
Yeah,
what
of
you've
course.
seen on VT.
I'll say what I can say.
Are you looking more at the Demon Engine build still, or are you? Because I know the internet's very excited about Terminators. I don't know what your stance are. I know they're both very much in your wheelhouse.
I mean, Terminators, yes, is my the thing about the thing that's interesting about the Death Shard Terminator ability is that you can kind of play Terminator build into quite a few of the other detachments, I would say. So I think you can actually have the best of both worlds with Mortarian's Hammer, because you can be like, cool, turn 1, that and that. And then, like, in turn 2, like, you can still go that and that in my command phase, and then you can drop down your Terminators within 6, even if you've got nothing else in contagion range. Obviously, as long as you can land within 6 and outside of 9 of anything not in contagion. But it's kind of it's that. So I think you can still utilize that trick in that
Yeah,
space. You can also, you can also do that in the Demons detachment as well, very easily. So I think you can still have fun with your Terminators, and I certainly will be, and they're always still going to be on my list. Like, regardless, I'm never not going to take them because I never haven't. But so I think you don't have to play the purely Terminatory one if you don't want to. The thing I like about the purely Terminator one, and my personal challenge with it, is to maximize the amount of mortal wounds that it can do, just for the lols. Like, I want to be like, how many mortal wounds can I cram into this detachment? Like, because I don't know if you watched the end of my game with Ben, but it got really scrappy at the end. Like, there was like there was Typhus and a Death Shroud Terminator. There was a Lord of Contagion and a Death Shroud Terminator. There was some Death Shroud Terminators at the top of the board and a 3 with a Lord of Virulence. There was some Plague Marines near something else, and then at the end I was like, okay, Okay, there's a 6 for that unit. D3 mortal wounds, 3 mortal wounds. 6 for that unit. D3 mortal wounds, 3 mortal wounds. 6 for that, his army. He lost like 15 models in his command phase, um, and
Wow.
and at a point where it was like it could very easily have been no longer holding primary. I basically held all primary at the end of the turn. The
Wow, 2-man units.
because like there were things like he killed shot the Death Shroud unit that was protecting the Revillians. So he survived because I rolled 4-ups because he was getting 4-up Feel No Pains. And then he killed some stuff. They killed him back. He then stood up on a 2-up and then killed the unit back again. So there was like that going on. And if you were in Contagion, you were taking mortal wounds from him. Morty was giving out mortal wounds on a 2-up. Typhus can just point at something and do D6 mortal wounds. There was obviously, I didn't use it in this one because I used to reactive move a couple of times, which also, like I did on stream, can we just say, for the first time in almost 4 years of playing 40k, I did a reactive move twice. I've never done a reactive move once, and I got to do it twice in that game, so it was amazing.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm liking it. I think Mortaran's hammer is going to be, it can be very strong. I think to be honest, I think every detachment can be strong if it's built the right way, and even if it's not one of them isn't the strongest and the most competitive. Having that we've played 3 of them now, actually kind of in a proper situation, they all do have play. So if there's something that you actually like, then you can get involved with it. You can put some time into it, and you're going to get results with it.
Yeah, I mean that sounds fair. I mean, like I said, because I'm not as invested as you and Aidan yet because I haven't been sort of privy to the full sort of set of information. But from what I can sort of gather, like it's a weird one at this point. Like part of me wants to go and just absorb all the content I can, but another part of me, I've deliberately tried this time to not go and watch all the Art of War videos and then watch all your games and all your content, Vanguard, and then all the other channels that are out there. Because I feel like when you do that, you end up sort of like taking in other people's hot takes, and you don't know, you gravitate towards what other people have told you is good. Was I've tried to find the bits I'm trying to sort of like. There's obviously lots of people, because there are lots of information out there from the streams. People have screenshotted bits and kind of compiled them. There's a couple that have been shared in our team chats. We're trying to read that and use that to come and make my own opinions rather than fall into the traps of because obviously it doesn't take a genius. And I did watch Art of War tier list today, and it's very clear that they're hyped on Terminators, and it's very obvious that I think that's going to be a kind of a cookie cutter build. And I think if we get a solved list, like this is the sort of the best Death Guard list, like Emperor's Children have got a couple, I imagine it's going to orient it on Terminators. But I think that's always going to be there. I want to kind of do the fringe stuff first and see what works for me. For example, we know about the Poxwalker detachment now.
Yeah.
It's not got the best stratagems and enhancements, but it's just having an extra 180 points worth of stuff in your list. Does that just outweigh anything else? Because, someone said to you, well, you can have weaker detachments and 180 points. A lot of people would jump on that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to look at it with that kind of,
I think that makes
from
sense.
that kind of angle.
I like it.
But I
think it makes sense. I'm certainly not pushing anybody in any direction, because I haven't even played all of them yet. And I've read the book, and I've been on the previews and stuff. And I definitely need to play them. And I think until anyone's played all of them, you don't know what the one that's right for you is. Terminators are strong, but what I would say is they're going to be strong in every detachment you put them in. So you don't need to play the Terminator detachment to get the benefits of their benefits. There's a couple of I think Chuck's put it in here as, I don't think it's even a joke, because it's apart from the 3 in every list. What I would say is get yourself having read the data sheet, and I know it's out there, so I won't comment on its particular stats, but do get a Malignifier.
Really?
So I didn't think it was going to be in the book anymore. So I told Aidan to give away the one I sent him. It is in there, and I am going to replace it.
There you go. I've got that plague surgeon. Somebody gave the models back to me, included the plague surgeon. So I've still got that plague surgeon to give back to you, Dave, as well.
But just the other thing I was going to say, well, do you want to quickly check in with chat and scroll back a little bit and say hi to some people, because we've got 90 people in?
Oh yeah,
And we have
nice.
we because of my horrible technical skills at the beginning, we haven't really actually said
Well,
hello to everyone yet.
yeah, well, it's our skills, David. Admittedly, you do the setting up, but I have left these things to you and Aidan, so I should, I have to hold my hands up. I should take more responsibility for the stream than
I'm
just
leaving.
sit as a
I'm
passenger.
not gonna tar you with that brush. That was my fault.
But yeah, let's get chat up and see what we've got. We've got Hugh Janus, a few of the regular guys popping in. Just checking, there's been no super chats just yet. But yeah, we've got Fosk, Phil Gagnon, sorry. Uh, Chuck Agnery, and all the other guys in chat. Great to have you here. We really appreciate, especially we've been doing this for a while now, and seeing a lot of regular names, and also a few new ones in there as well. So if this is your first time tuning in, please like and subscribe. I mean, we have noticed that at the moment we're getting a lot more engagement with people because obviously our book is the new hotness.
Certainly is.
But we hope this isn't something you just dip your toe in. We hope this is something you stick around. Even if you're looking just to find out about the Death Guard stuff, not to play. You're thinking more from the kind of what we like to play against them. I'm sure there's a few people there maybe picking up the army for the first time. But yeah, we are a channel dedicated to Death Guard. As Dave alluded to before, we are going to incorporate a little bit of Emperor's Children on a trial basis, based on the fact that it's a new army. There isn't really anyone else out there doing it. We've got a great guy in our community, Sam Bowman, who also plays Death Guard. And then I'm maybe going to do something similar with Chaos Knights and maybe sort of bring in some guests and things, people who are doing well at events, and try and maybe expand a little bit. But Death Guard's always going to be our focus. We that's kind of our first love, shall we say. But yeah, I don't know. Anything
I was
you
just
want
having
to
a look
sort
at there's
of
a couple of questions from
pick out there?
yeah, a couple of questions from chat. So what was Don asked what my favorite unit was that I used over the weekend. Do you know a couple of okay, I'll avoid the cliche one because
I'm heavy blight drones. I think we
heavy
can
blight
agree.
drones heavy blight drones are
Blight
amazing.
drones are heavy. Yeah, I
They
mean,
are they are
everything I've seen has been like
I don't know if you
everyone's gushing about them.
I don't know if you noticed. I don't. Well, when you watch it, but for those who watch the games, when I played particularly against Ben, I kept one of them alive on one wound until the end of the game, and I re-rolled its 3-up save twice, in 2 separate turns to keep it alive. Just because usually I'd be like, I don't care. It's a blight drone. It's kind of gone. But with the strength 10, AP2, flat 3 damage at 36-inch range with lethals and blast. Of course, you're going to keep it alive if you can. Like, it can pick up an entire unit if it shoots it. Like, it's worth it on the dice. Really impressed with that. I'm really hyped for Morty again. Great. Sorry, the cat is now crying. Hold on. As you can see in the background over my shoulder. 15 attacks on the sweep with sustained and lethal. Like, absolutely amazing. And then the big strikes, having devastating as well is killer. The reactive move was actually really good. Like when I put the Rhino onto the point and was like, okay, Ben, come on, bring some elves out, and then moved Morty up behind it and was like, because as soon as you come anywhere near it, I'm going to fall it back, and that means that you can't charge it because if you do, Morty's going to heroic into you and you're going to get wiped. And if you don't come and take me off of it, well, I'm just going to score secure. Sorry, I have to let the cat out. She's absolutely
Yeah, don't worry at all. But yeah, sounds pretty exciting though, Dave. I mean, I don't know if Dave can say this, but we'll get around to when he gets back. So the thing I'm unsure about with Morty and also the 6 Death Shroud attached to a character is, do you think he justifies the points, or do you think, because you do think he's worth it?
It is. So in the game I played as well, when then Ben decided moved into me, and then I wiped the models that he attacked me with, dropping 3, 6, and 3 across the middle of the board. What I did basically was roll a horrendous amount of 4-ups, as in terribly. I missed them, and it was a disproportionate amount. It wasn't even average, but that just by dropping those into the middle of the board completely screwed up Ben's game. Like, he suddenly was like, oh right, I've now got to deal with that, because if I don't, it's now going to it's now with even just the extra 1-inch move, a 5-inch move off of the middle, it basically and all the Overwatch threat, you have to deal with it. Like, it's now so tough and got so many wounds, and it always did, but it now especially just kills anything in the game. So
It's
you're
just,
like,
this is the Terminator brick rather
yeah,
than
yeah,
Morty, I
and
assume.
even
Yeah.
if you, so we rolled out even the sweep attack. We rolled it out into wardens, 48 attacks. It's only
Mhm.
strength. They're only strength 4, but your opponent drops down, and you get lance, and you get sustained, and you've got like lethal. And for 1 CP, you can in different detachments, you can do loads of stuff to it. Even though it's 1 damage, if you suddenly get 1 damage or -1 damage reduction, you're going to roll 48 attacks into something.
Wow, I mean, that
Like
is pretty insane.
that unit can't be bogged down anymore. You can't put 20 gaunts into it and stop it. Like you can't. It will kill 48 attacks. Goes through that. 24 attacks does usually too, but if you rolled 10 ones, you don't get out of that. You don't get out of engagement with it. 48
Wow.
attacks gets you out of there. Guardsmen can't block you. Can't hold you down. 150 crew can't stop. Like, I mean, as in a normal big unit of crew charging that unit, it just hits its way out of combat after flaming it. Like
Wow, okay.
it can't be slowed down anymore, which is really interesting.
Okay, I mean,
So
that's pretty cool
so
then.
I liked I really like that, but like I said, I was pleased to see Morty. I think Morty's really interesting again. The ability to give reactive move, the ability to give a unit 2-up fight on death, the ability to do mortals in your end of your movement phase, as well on top of choosing the 3 abilities, and the ability to let a unit shoot back, is pretty good. And also when people are dealing with him, you're like, which one of those are you going to use? And in the
Yeah,
Terminator
yeah.
detachment, for example, you could fight on death in 2 places. You can fight on death with a strat for 1 CP for 4-up fight on death, and Morty could within 6 2-up fight on death another unit.
Oh, okay.
So
So yeah, so there's.
he's become a lot more offensive now, as opposed to
I'll
the
have to.
defensive one. So
I'll be honest, I haven't even considered him once on any of the lists I've been kind of
oh,
penciling down
and you
in the
don't need to
various
like
things.
he's
Yeah, but
yeah. So
I
it's
maybe should is what I mean.
yeah, no, it's interesting, and I think also that I know people have been knocking it. We said it yesterday. Taliban, I think Taliban Summoners is going to be very strong.
I think it's good,
I think it's
like
good.
that one.
You can do some interesting stuff with it. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. That's of the bits I played on the stream. I used those, and also I can't. I think every list should probably start with 20 poxwalkers.
I feel like it's probably 30 to 40 from what I've
Yeah.
seen.
Oh
I
no,
imagine you
no.
wanted
I mean
one.
at least start with just like
Oh, but at
just
least one.
20.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least 2 10s
Yeah,
minimum.
yeah, or at
Yeah,
least two
got you.
tens definitely. They are fantastic. So, yeah, really very hyped for a lot of stuff in it. I mean, I've been reading the book for a while now, so I'm very much looking forward to having a proper chat on stream with you, Will, about it, and kind of hearing when we can talk a bit more naturally about all of it.
Yeah, when we can talk a bit more, yeah, because it's kind of hard, isn't it? Because like I say, I've got information that I've
Yeah,
gathered from
of course you have.
sources that aren't
It's out
official,
there.
but I know you guys have that, but I can't ask you about that. So it's a bit kind of it
I know.
makes it very awkward. It's like I know the secrets too, but I
Of
know
course you
because
do.
the secrets shouldn't be out in the world. Other naughty people have done it, so yeah.
Look, it's
But
fine,
it's
and I think as we found last night, with the fact that so many people tuned in to just to kind of hear the updates on bits, people know that they're going to be able to come to us. And the other thing, a lot of the other content that's out there, right, is flashing. It's like in the nicest way, and no disrespect to any other content creators, but they don't care about and live and breathe Death Guard like we do. Like there's going to be here's my big video to get me some views about Codex release, and then I'm on to Thousand Suns and World Eaters and Space
yeah.
Wolves, and we are going to keep being, going back and into and into and into. And even if you look in the Discord today, I think Aiden's actually set up a whole series of channels for each one of the detachments. So there's now dedicated spaces inside the Discord to talk about your favourites, and to just, if you suddenly want to jump to another, hopefully have a central repository for all the good information.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you were saying about the Tallyman Summoners, I mean, just because Beasts of Nurgle are so good. Like
So good.
yeah, like just open up Beasts of Nurgle and Rotigus does that in itself justify the detachment being there. Obviously the Great Unclean one. This is no league because it was in the what do you call it, the field manual update. Obviously, he adds +1
yeah.
toughness, so he still, makes toughness 13 Great Unclean one, and the stacking -1 toughness with our contagion also amazing. Um, I don't know if you can hear me there, Dave. I don't know if I
Yeah, I
might have
can.
disappeared or one of us has.
Uh,
Yeah,
Hold on.
just being updated on.
Yeah,
You've
I don't
come
know
back.
why that's. Hold on, give me a second. I'll just adjust it in. I don't know why that suddenly just jumped. Hold on.
But yeah, but like the most important thing is like there's so much to do. Like we talked about before about the Poxwalker thing. You know, it might not be the most exciting rules, but three free units of Poxwalkers, you know, from battle round 2 onwards is pretty. It's pretty good. Do you know what I mean? If you just look at it as a detachment rule and then play raw data sheets, which seem to have a lot of power from what I've
Get out of
seen.
here, Nurglings.
Yeah, there you go. but
Hold on, Will. It's gonna repeat for you.
but yeah, squash him down. But yeah, I'm very excited for it though. I mean, like I say, my thing is I really want to try the 6 Death Shroud brick and the character, but I just don't know if I wouldn't have 400 points wrapped up into one unit. But until I've tried it, I won't know. Like, cause 3 Death Shroud and the character looks pretty good as well
Yep.
to go and kind of, you know, be a bit more surgical or, you know, just kind of deep striking, cause a nuisance in the corner. But there's so much exciting stuff out there that I really I need to sit on the table. I think is where I'm at with it all. But I'm very excited. There's definitely it's just the most exciting thing is previously in the index. I kind of forgot what it's like to be able to pick a detachment and
Yeah, yeah.
actually look at the enhancements. I keep from the points that I've been able to get access to. I keep writing lists and getting the point, and it's full. And then I go, oh, I've actually got enhancements to buy, and then have to go and think about units versus enhancements. Whereas previously, the enhancements you never even had a look in unless you were, you know, 10 points left and you were just filling in something with, you know, a thing you never really cared about in the first place. So yeah, it's genuinely exciting times. And you know, once the NDAs are over that you've got with Vanguard Tactics, it'll be very exciting to see where me, you, and Aidan fall with lists because I'm sure they're going to be wildly different. I mean,
They will be.
I actually,
Definitely.
yeah, so I recorded a Pox Walk at Plague Me after Sheffield.
Oh, nice.
I haven't sent it to Aidan yet, but I did allude in that about how I think each of our lists is going to be wildly different.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think I'm
definitely
sure.
agree.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it
I'm
though.
going to just quickly jump into just chat because we've had
Yeah.
a few
Oh, we've
had a
I've
few
had some
updates.
members.
Yeah, and everyone's and there's a lot of commentary. So, thank you for saying great vids with Vanguard Tactics this week. Good. Thoughts on using the flesh mode drone? Feels like there's a lot of internal pressure to choose more optimal units than this. Yeah, of course there will be. I mean, they are. If I was saying, you know, you're taking a drone to a tournament, what you're going to take? You're probably going to take the heavy blight launcher, but that does not mean that there's not a place for the flesh mower drone if the rest of your list is kind of compensating for the lack of that weapon potentially in it. It's just a very good gun at the minute. Like everyone's, like Will said, everyone's a bit hyped on it. So, you know, I think we'll all calm down in a bit and just like, you know, realize there's other lists, other units in there. Jurgen's Miasma, great watch on VT. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Warvane says PBC's coming off the shelf. Chuck says, I think that's what's so good about the book. I don't actually think there is a best list, or there isn't a best list yet. Absolutely. Phil, yeah, I understand. Phil said the demon detachment is the one he's least excited about. I understand that. To be honest, I'm a very pure Death Guard unit player, so I wouldn't usually. I kind of soup them in rarely, but I definitely will give it a go because I think it's good to learn and have the experience of what it does and what it can do for us. Yeah, Hospos says, so many things that work well, won't really have a cookie cutter list. We have so many good units. Plague Marines are crazy now with the Rhino Plague Caster and Biologus. Jurgen says, fly blown looking good with extra toughness and -1 save is looking fantastic. Necros asks, and Will, you can answer this. Dave and Will, what is the Nurgle fun fact of the day?
Nurgle fun fact of the day.
Yeah. Make one up.
Rot is lovely and snot tastes amazing.
There we
There you go.
Very, very good. Warvane gifted a Disgusting Resilient membership. Thank you very much. And that went to Jacques Vincent, in brackets,
Ooh.
Chrome Rose. received a membership, so well done, congratulations. And Arnold Degan has become a Plague Marine. So thank you very much for joining a Plague Marine tier. Go to the community tab on our homepage, and there you can find a link to the Discord. Make sure in Discord you link your YouTube account to it, and then you'll show up as a green member in there. We have got a giveaway going on at the minute. So next week, next Saturday, or this Saturday, in fact, we are going to be, when it arrives, we're going to be giving away a collector's Death Guard Codex.
Ooh, wow. Did you manage to get one of them? Did you? That's
I didn't manage to get the super one because GW went on sale 10 minutes early and they sold out. So that was annoying. But I did get 2 of the collector's ones. So I'm obviously going to keep one, and then we're going to give one. We're going to give one away.
Nice.
Oh
That's
God,
pretty
the cat's
cool.
screaming at the door. Sorry, guys. Hold on 1 second. It's so annoying. Who'd have a cat?
The Death Guard cat went in and out. But yeah, it's certainly exciting times though. So I mean, in the chat, did anyone manage to get the super rare codex? I'm very curious to know if anyone's got it, and when it arrives, what they think of it. Because I have to say, when I saw it, was it 160, 150 the one in
155 the big one was.
Oh, it's not for me, that. I mean, I'll be honest, at the end of the editions, because the codexes have generally got the information reprinted, mine go in the bin. So yeah, I wouldn't want to spend that much on a codex personally.
Sorry, scroll down a little bit more. Also, Torst80 has become a Plague Marine as well. So thank you very, very much. Let me have a quick look through some more comments, guys. I'm sorry I screwed up the start of this stream, so it's not going to be. I'm not going to be on for. We're not going to be on for too much longer, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
But we did just want to come on and say hi, and make sure we did come on. Let me look down some of these more comments.
Big ups, Dom, for the expensive one.
Yeah, nice. Chuckanori said, yes, the Terminator is moving an extra inch. Yep, which is great. Where did I see Necros' comment a second ago? Did I try for the 20-man Pox Jail infiltrate? No, I didn't on the stream, but I absolutely am going to. There are, if you're playing something like Mortarian's Hammer, if you think about kind of what's in that one, and it allows you to kind of you can already pick 2 units. You could easily use Poxwalkers to get another unit into contagion kind of really early by doing an infiltrate and then move, and then we all know what the Death Shroud do within 2 units that are within contagion. That gives you a really nice kind of place to do early on, or even if you just kind of stage them back and then move them out and then put something into contagion. It's going to be really good. So yeah, I definitely will be giving it a go, but not yet. Phil said, I mean, 2 10-mans to replace my cultists. Remember that you've also got Chaos Spawn can scout now.
Yeah, Chaos Spawn look really good.
So we put some of those in some lists over at Vanguard during the day, which is really, really cool. So can Beast of Nurgle, but obviously if you're playing the Virulent Vectorum, then Chaos Spawn can jump out and can hold you a primary now, so they can do that instead of cultists, which is worth having to think about.
Yeah, Beast of Nurgle definitely still better than Spawn in my opinion. But I think it's just kind of obvious when you look at them. But obviously, Beast of Nurgle only available in one place now, and Spawn not a bad second at all.
Plague Marines are amazing, as people have been talking about in here. Necros says our new slogan should be "Rot is lovely, snot tastes amazing." So what else have we got in here? Matthew, well done for getting one of the special books. What else we got in here? I'll show you things you can do. Don, no one wants to see what you can do with 5 inches. That's especially not in here. You can take that to OnlyFans if you like. David Will.
Don's got crabs on OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly. And Anton Lee asks, Dave and Will, your hot take: are Death Guard better at melee or shooting now, or are both viable? Go on, Will. We'll take a few more questions and then we'll dive.
I'm actually looking at shooting list, which is crackers. I didn't think I'd ever be looking at gun lines because I didn't enjoy the Plague Storm style at all when I tried it. But yeah, like for me, it just seems to make sense as a gun line with the drones and the Lord of Virulence and even Defilers stripping away cover and things like that, and the Predator also adding bits on it. It just looks good. I mean, I need to try it, but for me, that's what's got. What about you, Dave? Are you feeling melee, or are you sort of on the shooting as well?
To be honest, it can do both. We've got a lot of guns in the book, and we still hit just as hard as we did before. And in fact, I'd say we probably hit a bit harder now. I think I think we've got just lethals are absolutely everywhere in both shooting. I mean, Predator autocannons have got lethals now. There's like it really has just spread across the whole book.
I'd missed that the Predator can had lethals. That passed me by.
Yep. So there's lots of really good stuff out there. I think I think there genuinely is a good mix of both. So you can, if you want to build a shooting list like Will's kind of talking about maybe doing, then you're going to have a lot of guns. It's going to be fun. And if you want to play all melee, you can easily run that kind of list. We're going to be in this, the classic situation still of like we want people to come close to us, and we want to get close to them. And the closer they get to us, the worse it is for them. So we now move a bit quicker. Poxwalkers move a little bit faster. Death Trail move faster. We've got still got the transports. We didn't lose those. We can deep strike in closer now. So I feel like a lot of things everything's coming up Nurgle's Garden, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean it's an exciting time, isn't it? I think that's the most important thing to look at. There's so many things to try.
Yes,
like you said yourself.
About that 1 second.
Oh, what's this?
Go ahead, Will. It's just Chuck DM'd me earlier about something, a good point on something, just about a play. Why the spoiler could be still fun with Death Guard.
Okay. Oh, do you know what? This is something that I'm still unsure of. I still think a carnivore might still have a place in Death Guard list. I was looking at this. We still don't, from what I can see, have a cheap, points efficient, can just one turn something in a punch up if it gets lucky, or something that can zip across the board to sort of like flip a point on the last turn. I know we've got bloat drones, but the 3 LC can sometimes not be enough, and walls and things still exist, unless of course you're playing more Tyrant Hammer. But yeah, like there's loads of stuff like that. I'm still considering carnivores in some lists, but also not thinking about my tone of the list. Brigands are out the window now. I don't think there's any need for Brigands. Let's just be honest with that one.
Yeah.
And then maybe some of the bigger shooting nights as well. I mean, there's, like I say, there's definitely T12 skews that you can do, especially with the Nurgle Demon stuff.
Definitely.
It's a brave new world. But what are you going to point out?
No, just Chuck said messaged me earlier to say and just Don Houston would have been all over this to start with, but as well. But the Defiler stripped cover.
And
it doesn't strip cover for only Death Guard units. So
it's just that unit can't take cover anymore, does it?
Yeah. So if you have got a big burrow in there, standing there with 2 battle cannons or 2 Gatling guns, then
oh wow, I hadn't even thought about that connection. Got to see what you're saying now.
Yeah, then it's totally fair enough. And also if you were playing Mortarin's Hammer, you could also choose that unit to be in contagion range and be -1 toughness and -1 save.
Hey, that is such a brutal list. God, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, there's tons of it. Like there's tons of horror combos in this.
Yeah, because you can make a really good team suite, because we spam so much flat 3 shooting now. Like it's incredible. Because that was my thing with the Demons one. I was sort of looking at that with a couple of Defilers, because I think the toughness works if you've got 3 great and clean ones as well. I think you want that extra skew, even if they can't move through the walls. But then there's so much flat 3 damage shooting, and then obviously you've got the benefit of 2 stacking covers. You can make even toughness 12 things T10 or T11, T9, so you're back to wounding on 3s. Like I was thinking about this, there's quite a lot you can do. There's some really nasty gun lines, and then of course we've got the Terminators just running riot in the middle of the board. It's so much. So many things to try. It's quite.
I can't wait to just have a session talking about it and coming up with stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, the guys are already talking about loads of bits that are really cool. Necros, you're totally right with that Defiler and the Destructor. Very cool. I think you're right. I think a Carnivore suddenly can benefit very nicely into some of our lists, which would be good to see what your thoughts are on coming up with that. But yeah.
Definitely. I mean, loads. But yeah, it's probably a good time to call it, isn't it?
Let's call it there, though. But Aidan and I talked about. I think we dropped a chat as well. I don't know if you're around on Saturday night or Saturday evening.
I am actually. This
Amazing.
weekend would be a great one for me. So yeah, maybe we can do a bit of a deep dive. I mean, me and Aidan, me and you, Aidan, will talk about in the chat and work what we can do. But maybe we could even pencil a list each and kind of talk about the different approaches we've got. Because I think me and Aidan might be at the same. So when this book comes legal, I think me and Aidan are going to be at the same tournament, but it's a teams tournament in Bolton. We're on different teams, okay. So I've been talking to the people on my team as to what we may or may not want. So yeah, it's going to be quite exciting. Like I say, I already know there's an event I've got coming up where it's like I think a week after this book drops.
Yeah.
So it becomes legal. I mean,
so what we Aidan and I talked about yesterday was that we would maybe on Saturday we do like a codex run through.
Oh, to the bingo, yeah. Oh,
also the guys want the bingo card, so yes, we do need to.
Yeah, I just spotted that with
so if we do that, and then like literally go through the book, go through the detachments, talk about it, how we are interpreting them, like that stuff. But absolutely, well, also if you've got a list that you're writing for that, share it, man. I'd love to see it.
Oh yeah, no, I mean if it's too early for lists and things, yeah, let's just do maybe a bit more of a deep dive on the book and. Bit more of an official hangout, I guess.
Are you going to be at Leeds, by the way? GT, Super Major. Sorry.
Me, yeah. I intend to be. I'm pretty sure.
I think Aidan's coming as well. So I think all three of us are going to be there. I think that's the first one where all three of us are going to be at for a while.
Wow, it's not till like July or August, though, is it?
June 5th and 6th,
June.
I think.
Oh wow, okay. God, I don't even keep. God, yeah. If I'm God, that's like a week after the team. So I didn't realise. Mate, that's going to be amazing, right? Okay, so we'll talk off camera, but maybe we need to do. Maybe I need to try and take the Friday off for my element shift, and then maybe we need to do some kind of like live in person coming at you from Leeds or something like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And guys, absolutely. It's all about. It's all about destructor shooting infantry, but like let's talk. The infantry we want to shoot is that 3 wound tough infantry that is now getting no cover and extra AP into it. So that's just perfect for our big burret to kind of shoot, or our or anything else with our flat 3 or your blight drone to go into that. It's just there's some horror combinations, but in a really good way. And the thing it is, and when the points are properly out there and everyone can get into it, I think what everyone will appreciate as well is, and I know some people have seen stuff, and I won't talk to any particular points numbers, but you're going to be building lists, and your list building is going to get tougher. And that's going to be an interesting, in a really good way. Like you're really going to have to think about what's going on now. There's not this anymore. I've got this amount of points. I'm just going to slap this in there. Like I think we were probably getting into the habit of doing towards the end, or just being like, okay, there's that, and that. There's real cases at the moment you start putting in enhancements and things. You go, oh, actually, I really do want that enhancement. So, but that's just really screwed up this now. Now I'm 10 points over again. Or I'm like, I felt like putting lists together that I was just drifting over the 2K repeatedly, and then having to make some sacrifices. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, this links back to me. I'll plug it again. Did one more Poxwalk Plague. I'll try and sort it out this week, because I do acknowledge in the video it's going to be irrelevant in terms of list building. But the thing I noticed in my last event, because I'd started to sort of take more balanced lists with sort of more mission play, and I'd noticed an awful lot that I've been hiding behind skews, and I think to keep improving to play, I want to continue with that kind of more mixed arms. But when I've been writing lists, just linking back to what you were saying there, Dave, I've actually been writing lists and then putting on the list unit roles next to each one. So in my head now, I want units to do this, and this. This is like a bully unit. This is a mission play unit. This is going to hold my expansion. This is going to hold my home. And then to make sure, because you're right, you can sort of get lost and go down, I want all the Terminators, max damage, and then you look and it's like, but how does this list actually play? Yeah. So because it's great to have the options, but it's also very easy to sort of get lost in focus on the damage and forgetting about the mission, and maybe he's also having too much mission play. And this is stuff that the book opens up loads, but opening up loads makes everything a lot more complicated, but in a good way. So it's very exciting times.
Strongboy just said competitive enhancements. What a crazy idea.
You know.
And what I would just say on that before we sign off is those who watched the game I played versus Ben with his Eldari, I started the unit with the enhancement for once per game uppy downy Death Shroud, big brick of Death Shroud. I started on the board because I was like, I think Ben's going to go first, and then that means in my first turn I can pick them up, and then in my turn two I've got 6 Death Shroud I can rapid ingress if I want to, within 6, and so Ben now has got to think about, does he want to come closer to me and put a unit within contagion so I can drop 6 Death Shroud within 6? And actually, that was a very interesting play because the other thing you could do with it is you start it off the board, you deep strike it in or rapid ingress it, it does its thing. At the end of your opponent's turn, you lift it off again, and then you bring it down again, and that one unit can do it twice, which is quite horrible.
Ah.
And so that's 30 points. Like roughly, if people have seen it, it's out there. But we'll get into all of this. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is all very exciting. I mean, it's like we're saying there. There's going to be so many little more tactical decisions, and even back to unit sizes. People pointing out again how much perhaps better value a 7-man Plague Marine is now. The 10-man Plague Marine might not have as value, and is the new Lord worth it compared to the tactics characters? But this is all stuff we can break down.
We'll crack into this on Saturday. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Will, spending a bit more time with you and chatting about it.
Same, mate. Well, like and subscribe, guys. Thanks very much again for sticking with us through the technical difficulties at the start of the stream. So it's been a bit shorter. But usual plugs. Obviously, there's an awful lot of stuff to be buying at the moment. If you're getting the starter boxes and that, if you haven't already ordered it. If you're doing anything development games, we do have an affiliate link. It gives a little kickback to us at the channel. So if you're getting any of the stuff we've taught, any new units and new codexes, anything like that. Also, Dave, he's not rocking it tonight, but you and Aidan both look very snazzy on the Vanguard Tactics stream. I noticed you had some pretty good hoodies on. Where can people buy one for themselves?
Yeah, if you guys want to rock the same hoodie, you can go to drpstore.com where you can get t-shirts, you can get hoodies, you can get drink like coffee mugs, all that kind of stuff, and anything like that. And it'd just be great to see people rocking the brand out and about there. You can use the link down in the description to go to Baron of Dice. They keep selling out of our dice, but I can tell you they rolled lovely all weekend solidly at Vanguard Tactics. Not just as in they rolled lots of 6s and 5s, but they just roll really nicely, and they look fantastic. So check those guys out. Check out Saltire Games. You can get gaming aids there from your 9-inch deep strikes to your markers. What I would say to everyone as well is think about what you're going to use to mark afflicted things, because that is now very important in the game. So if you need a selection of things, or a handful of things that are the same, to say that is afflicted. So have a think about that. And then you can head on over to Vanguard Tactics. They actually have till the end of this week, a pre-order on the masterclass that Aidan and I filmed with them. You also get, if you buy one of them, you get the others for free. So if you buy World Eaters, you get Death Guard for free. If you buy Death Guard, you get World Eaters. So it's equivalent of like $25 US each, which is actually cheaper if you buy it in the UK because of the exchange rate right now. So it's pretty good. But go and check those guys out. We had loads of fun over there, and it was brilliant. I think that's probably all of our shameless plugs. Like, comment, subscribe, like Will said. Thank you very much for tuning in for this quick one. Apologies for the technical difficulties. And we'll go and have some nice dinner.
Yeah, same. And we'll catch you all on Saturday, I guess, guys. And